Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, BrittanyBearMakeup here, and today's video is another video in my wedding series. I'm doing my own makeup for my wedding. Why not make some tutorials for you guys, give you guys the confidence, save you guys some money so that if you are doing your own makeup for your wedding, you guys can have a video step by step. You can follow along on your big day and feel confident about the way you look. So turn on my post notifications, subscribe down below, and keep on watching as I show you guys how to get this beautiful bridal makeup look.
You are now rocking with
Brittany, bitch. Alright guys, so I'm really excited for today's tutorial. I really want to save you guys money. If you are looking to getting married and maybe you don't have it in your budget to get a makeup artist, or you're doing a destination wedding and you don't have it in your budget to fly someone somewhere, today I'm going to teach you guys a beautiful look that you can create by yourself for your wedding day. So I'm going to go ahead and begin by taking my primer. This is a primer from JOUER and it is really hydrating and moisturizing for the face. On your wedding day, I highly recommend that you want to keep your skin very supple, very hydrated. So putting a very good lotion on, as well as this primer, is going to leave your skin looking flawless and give you that glow from within. Alright guys, so as the primer sits in my face and it just sets in, I'm going to go ahead and begin with the eyeshadow. I always like to start with the eyeshadow because I always feel like if there's any fallout, you can always clean it up and have a nice clean base. Today I'm going to be a little unconventional and I'll be using tape, and I'm going to be using this to kind of make sure that my eyeshadow has a very sharp line and edge. I get really stressed out on very important days when doing my makeup, so using the tape is actually going to give you the most effective way for you to do your makeup worry-free and get that beautiful application. So just taking that tape and applying it underneath my eye in an upward position, I'm gonna go ahead and begin priming my eyelids. I'm gonna be using my JOUER High Essential Concealer. This is a great hydrating concealer and it's also very light. The shade that I'm using is Chiffon, and I'm gonna apply this on my eyelid. I'm a little all over the place, but you want to be very generous with the amount you apply. So I'm just taking that sponge and I'm tapping the product in, making sure there's no creasing on the eyelid or anything like that. We want to make sure we have a very soft, nice base for the eyeshadow. Alright, so once I went ahead and I did both sides of the eyes, I'm going to go into the eyeshadow. So the eyeshadow palette I'll be using today is Baked Browns, and this is from Dose of Colors. It has some really pretty natural neutral shades in it, and I'm going to go ahead and work with these shades to create the eyeshadow look. So the first step to this look is going to be taking this very light white bone shade, and I'm going to be using a little angled brush, and I'm going to tap this into the eye and mattify basically all of that concealer that I applied onto the eyelid. So once I've gone ahead and I've mattified the base, I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite brushes of all times. This one is from Bare Minerals, and it's a crease defining brush. Taking that light brown shade, don't mind this palette, I use it often so you guys see it's kind of dirty. We're gonna go ahead and use this light brown shade, and we're gonna work this into the crease of our eye. Now we're using that tape kind of as a barrier to know when exactly we wanna stop, but as you guys can see, it's very simple. We're just taking this brush and back and forth in windshield wiper movements and in circular motions. We're kind of defining and creating a little bit of definition just right in that corner. So the key to this look is just take your time, be very patient, and just make sure you blend everything out until you get that look that you're going for. We definitely want to create that dimension right into the crease and just have a very soft and subtle transition. So spending a couple of minutes just working it in is worth every single second of it. I promise this is probably the most important day of your life, so you want to make sure that you look and feel amazing. So take those extra minutes just buffing and blending everything in. Alright, super duper simple. You guys can see we have a little bit of that definition going on in the corner, and we're definitely going to amplify it and add a little bit more, but we're actually going to go straight into the eyeliner next. I know you guys are shocked because that was one eyeshadow color, but this is how easy this can be and for you guys to recreate. So today I'll be taking my Too Faced eyeliner. This one is one of my favorites. I'm going to be applying hold up. So as you guys can see, the brush is very used on this. So I'm gonna attempt to apply my eyeliner without messing it up. So what I like to do is I like to start on the wing, and I'm just following that tape upward, as you guys can see, then dragging a line down towards my lower lash line. I'm gonna fill all of that in to get that perfect wing that I'm going for. The key is then to spend just a couple of minutes going over that lash line and just making sure that it's at the right length that you want your eyeliner to be at. So after we've gone ahead and we've applied the liner, we're just gonna go into this. I love how there's a lash right here, guys. This is This would not be Brittany Bear if she didn't have lashes like stuck to something. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this chocolate brown shade on a Morphe E17 brush, and right in the corner, I'm gonna smoke this in, and this is what's gonna create just a little bit of that definition into the corner of the eye. So I'm using the eyeliner kind of as a template, and I'm just smoking it in a very small amount, just in the corner. We just want the definition to be right there. We want to look very flawless, seamless, like we put a little bit of effort into this, and so that's exactly what we're doing. So after that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna remove the tape, and you guys can see I have like the most perfect wing application going on right here, which looks so amazing. I'm gonna grab a black eyeshadow, and I'm going to go ahead with that same brush, just apply that black eyeshadow, and you can use any black eyeshadow to be honest. And I'm just gonna apply this into the corner of the eye once again, and this is what's gonna amplify the eyeshadow look. Kind of buffing it in circular motions and applying it just a little bit at a time to make sure that we're not overpowering everything. Then with that same brush, just kind of buffing everything out. All right, so once I've gone ahead and I buffed everything out, this is pretty much what it looks like. Now, if you just want to add like an extra sparkle to the eye, I'm going to be using my MAC Dazzleshadow, and this is really nice. It's very opalescent and has glitter in it. So just taking a flat little brush, I'm going to apply a little bit of that glitter just right here onto the lid. And this is just going to enhance it, make it look a little bit more on that bridal side, give you that nice sparkle that you might want in photos when you're looking down. So it's a beautiful color just to kind of add in and just take the eyeshadow look to the next level. So a little bit goes a long way. So applying that there. So once I've gone ahead and I've applied that glitter, I'm gonna apply a thin layer of mascara onto the lashes, and we're gonna go ahead and place some false lashes just to kind of bring the eyeshadow look to life. I highly recommend if you're getting married to do a false lash, even if you're someone who likes more natural makeup. It's definitely gonna pop in photos, and it's something that you're gonna absolutely love. So there's very natural wispy lashes, there's dramatic lashes, whatever route you're going for is definitely gonna amplify that look. So for someone like myself, I like very wispy natural lashes, so I'll be using my ARDELL 778 and applying just a little bit adhesive to the lash line. I'm gonna go ahead and let it dry and get tacky. It's very important that you guys are just patient on this day. You do all the steps, you just take your time because you definitely want this to come out beautiful. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of squeezing the lashes together, just making sure that I have a nice elasticity to them so that they stick onto the eye. And then I'm gonna place it onto the lash line in the area that I want it to be. And I like very cat eye, so they go from smaller to longer fluttery lashes into the corners. I feel like this complements my eye shape, so you definitely want to try out lashes prior to your big day to see what style of lash you like and what eye shape you guys are going for. All right guys, so the next step is gonna be foundation. And when I'm doing bridal makeup, I always want to find a foundation that's gonna pretty much last throughout the day or look better the longer you wear it. And I personally love JOUER. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about JOUER because of the way it oxidizes on your face. And what that means is basically sometimes it can get a little bit darker. So you think you found your shade, but within 20-30 minutes, it's a completely different shade. So I always like to try out their samples first. And then from there, I kind of customize my shade. However, I love this foundation. I love the way it looks and feels on my skin. So today I'm actually gonna be mixing two shades, Bisque and Bronzed. So bronze is obviously too dark, Bisque is a little bit too light, but together they make a really good, beautiful foundation shade. So taking that foundation, I'm gonna mix it on the palm of my hand, and I'm gonna begin placing it on my face. Now, as you guys can see, it looks a little bit off, but once it's blended in, once we add that concealer, that highlight, it's gonna be such a beautiful, perfect foundation shade. So I personally love this. I think for bridal makeup, it's just so stunning. It covers all of your imperfections, and the longer you wear it, it just looks more beautiful on the skin. So first I'm applying it with just a little eyeshadow brush just to kind of get the application where I need it to be. And I'm gonna add a little bit more Bisque to even everything out. All right, then with a damp beauty blender, I'm gonna go in and begin packing this and buffing it into the skin. Now, what I noticed about this is that if you spend at least 6 minutes just really tapping the product into your skin, you are going to get the most beautiful application. You're gonna make your skin look like skin. It's not gonna look like you have foundation on it. So really take your time blending in the foundation. And you always wanna make sure that you're dragging it on your neck so that you don't have two tones going on, especially on your wedding day. I always like to get my ear, and that's because if it's not my exact color, at least I don't have two tones going on. So one little trick that I actually really love is to take my All-Nighter Urban Decay Spray and I apply it onto my sponge. And what this does is it basically locks in that foundation into the face to make sure that throughout the day it's not going anywhere. So it kind of sets that foundation into the skin. Alright, so once you've gone ahead and you've applied that foundation, the next step is going to be to conceal. And I love JOUER's concealer once again because it has hyaluronic acid in it, so it actually plumps your skin when being applied. So taking this concealer, I'm using the shade Chiffon and apply a little bit on the high points of my face as well as the inner corner. I'm gonna do the bridge of my nose, my chin, I like the corners of my mouth as well, and then the lower part of my forehead. I like to kind of drag that highlight into the nose just to kind of make it look a little bit slimmer. So taking that damp beauty blender once again, I'm gonna begin pressing this into the skin and you're gonna see it gives it the most flawless coverage. This is exactly what you want, especially on your wedding day. You wanna make sure that you have a nice bright under eye highlight and that it's lifting your face instead of dragging it down. The one thing I can say about this foundation and this concealer is that it does dry down a little bit quicker than usual. So you definitely want to work with it fast. It's definitely not one of those things that you just leave on your face and kind of come back to in like 5-10 minutes. You're gonna wanna work fairly quickly to get the most beautiful, flawless application. And once again, biggest piece of advice, relax, take your time, you are in no rush. Give yourself the right amount of time so you make sure everything is blended out perfectly. You're gonna have all these photos, all these videos throughout the day, so you definitely wanna make sure that every angle of your face has a nice, soft focus blend. Alright, so the next step is going to be translucent powder, and I'll be taking my HUDA Beauty Cupcake powder, and Cupcake has a soft pink undertone to it, so I really love the way it sets in my eyes. I like the way it looks in flash photography, which is really important as well. So taking that damp sponge, I'm going to go ahead and begin packing this on. Now, I say packing, and I guess that's probably the wrong terminology because I am going to be most likely buffing this product in. So I apply a good amount with that damp sponge, and I'm kind of pressing it in to where you can't see any of the powder just kind of sitting on my face. This is a buffing technique which is going to give you more of that flawless finish without that heavy creasing under the eyes or heavy powder look. So I'm doing the same thing on the other side, spending a couple minutes and just pressing it into the skin. Now, if you get a little bit oily in certain areas of your face, like your T-zone, it's okay to pack the product on those areas. You want to make sure that those areas are going to last throughout the night. It's a very long, long night. Your wedding day is going to be a lot of photos, a lot of dancing and sweating. So certain areas that you get more greasy, it's okay to apply a heavier amount of that translucent powder. But the rest of the face, we're going to give it more of that soft focus finish, and we're just going to buff that powder in. So my nose is typically where I get a little greasy, so I'm just gonna go ahead and apply a good amount of that translucent powder right there. So when it comes to nose contouring, I love a good nose contour, and I actually really like my Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder. The shade that I'm using is Y425 with my collaboration with MORPHE, my nose contouring brushes. I apply a little bit of this powder onto the brush, and then from that inner eyeshadow, I drive a line straight down the side of my nose, making sure I'm connecting the eyeshadow along with that nose contour. I'm gonna go ahead and apply that powder on the tip of my nose. This is gonna help shorten my nose and create more of that 3D finish that we're going for. And then I'm also going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, because I put a lot of translucent powder, it's okay to apply a lot of product at first because we're gonna buff and blend it all out. If you guys want more of an in-depth detailed tutorial, I do have a nose contour video on my channel that you guys could check out, and it goes into detail on how to get the most perfect contoured nose. Then taking a lighter shade of powder, I'm using my Fit Me powder in the shade 110. I'm just gonna be applying that straight down the center of my nose as a focal point. And then with that excess powder, I apply it onto the sides. Once again, being generous because we're gonna buff and blend it all out. Taking a blending brush, I'm gonna go into my Murillo Twins x Beauty Creations palette. I really love these contour shades. I love the blush. I feel like this is so bridal, so perfect. If you guys haven't picked this palette up, I highly recommend it. palette. There is a shade right here that is called MILF. I'll be using this to contour out the sides of my cheekbones and just kind of blending it in on both sides, defining them. As you guys can see, I didn't use cream contour because I want this contour to look very subtle and soft. Especially on your wedding day, I feel like when you use both cream and powders, it can look a little too overpowering or overbearing. And if you're someone who's new to makeup and you're not super comfortable, highly recommend just contour with powders. You're gonna get a more beautiful, soft finish, and I feel like you'll have more control of the product. So I'm gonna warm up the rim of my forehead as well. Just kind of cohesively bring in all those shades together so I look sun-kissed and natural. We definitely don't look natural. And then on my jawline as well, I wanna make sure that I define my jawline as best as I can and create some shadows and dimension to make sure I get rid of any double chin action that I might have going on. This is the most important day of your life, so you wanna make sure from every single angle you have, you are looking fly. So definitely take a couple minutes and contour out all those areas of the face that we tend to show a little bit of aging. So with that damp sponge, I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna pat all this product in, and you're gonna see it's gonna give me a nice, subtle, soft finish. So adding just a little bit of highlight to the tip of the nose, I like to do just to bring like a little focal point to the face. It also gives it like a soft focus look. We don't want to apply too much, you just want a very subtle amount. All right guys, so I quickly did my eyebrows off camera, but I want to talk to you guys about the blush I'm going to be using. I'm actually really excited for this. This is from the Jaclyn Cosmetic line, and this is her Sun Kissed and Bronze Moment Duo. It has a bronzer as well as a blush. So I'm going to be using this beautiful soft pink blush, and we're going to be trying it out actually. Oh, this is really pretty. So this is a really, really soft pink shade, and I feel like this is so perfect for bridal makeup because you always want to have like the very innocent, I tried but I didn't try that hard type of glow to your skin. And this has a little bit of that opalescence to it, so it kind of gives like shine to your face, but it's also adding that beautiful sun-kissed pink shade to your cheeks just to kind of enhance the look. I think blush is actually one of the biggest steps that you should take when doing bridal makeup. Like I said, I just see how beautiful and radiant the skin looks, and it really just gives that glow from within. So to finish off this look, I'm gonna be going back into that same eyeshadow palette and taking that light brown shade and a little blending brush. I'm just gonna smoke this under the eye just to kind of make it blend in to that eyeliner so nothing looks too harsh or overpowering. Just slightly blending it in. Then taking the other side, I'm gonna grab that dark chocolate shade and I'm gonna blend it out as well. So once you've gone ahead and you've done the step, you kind of have two options. If you want your eyes to look bigger, I would recommend putting inside of the waterline more of a tan colored eyeliner. But if you want more of that sexy, sultry look, I would highly recommend a black hole liner. And I think today that is what I'm gonna be doing. So I will be taking my Revlon Color Stay Black Liner Pen, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fill this into the waterline. Like that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of bottom mascara. Definitely want to be using waterproof mascara, especially for bridal makeup. So make sure that is like the most important thing, to make sure that if you do cry, you don't have tons and tons of black mascara just kind of streaming down your eye. So take your time, make sure you apply a little bit to the bottom lash line. And obviously this is optional, but I actually really like the way it makes my eyes look. I feel like it just kind of adds that extra pop to the eyes. Alright guys, so some of the final steps here today is going to be taking my Jaclyn lip liner pencil, and this is in the shade Bourbon. And I'm going to go ahead and lip line my lips. And I'm just filling it in just to get a little bit of that shade permanently onto my lips. And then I'm gonna go ahead and apply one of my favorite lip glosses. This is from Beauty Creations, and this one is called Only Be. And I'm gonna apply this onto my lips. And as you guys can see, it blends in beautifully with the lip liner and gives like the most beautiful lip shade. Alright guys, so here you have the final bridal makeup tutorial. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I actually really love this makeup look. I feel like this is definitely a contender for my own personal wedding. I just think that it's a more of a matte finish, I would say, but it's super simple, guys. I know there's a lot of products and it seems super overwhelming and it's scary to do your own makeup for your wedding, but if you guys go step by step, follow this video, I highly have faith that you guys are gonna look incredible on your big day. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what other tutorials you guys want to see. Comment down below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see my bear family in the next video. Bye guys!